so what we're doing right now is warming up the hip flexors, just to let you know it's a multi-joint movement. So go ahead and curl your, bring your knees so that they're in alignment with your hips, so bring them a little bit closer together. Yeah, there you go. And we're doing it with the blocks because the blocks will create a lift and not put so much pressure on the shoulders. So this would be for somebody who may have a little bit more mobility issues. It's also going to limit the range of motion of the upper spine. So go ahead and curl your spine all the way up and all the way down. So some people like to call this cat and cow, and some people like to call it cat and dog. I've never seen a cow move its spine, so I'm not sure but it is what it is. So as you can see, he's curling his spine up and down. If he wanted a little bit more movement, he could come down into that and then let the head come up. Yeah, so really getting that scapular retraction, and then roll all the way back up. So this just starts to warm up the spine and that flexion and extension. Good. And then we're going to move into a low lunge series. So what he's going to do is straighten out through his spine, and again, keeping the blocks underneath the hands is going to create the height. So the right leg is going to shoot straight back. This is pretty typical, this external rotation. What I'm going to have him do is come down slightly so the glute's not firing as much and the lower back can get a little straighter. What he's going to do is pull his knee in towards the chest and pull the foot all the way through so that the foot drops down between the hands. So you see he's tall, so he had to slightly externally rotate the hip to get there, which is good. And now what he's going to do is move forward and back into that leg. So coming forward and then flexing back. So this is the multi-joint movement. This obviously, yep, just
hands on the blocks.
Yeah, hands on the blocks. You can take the hands off the blocks if you want. It's going to give you a little bit more range of motion. Yep, and then what you would do is just come forward and back. The blocks are really there just to bring the ground up when you're coming through. And then I'll show you in a second how else you can use them. So forward.
Does he pull his toe up when he comes back?
Okay, so good question. This with the toe down is going to get the shin. If he brings his toes up, it's going to go deeper and he'll be able to go back a little bit further. Does that make sense? So we don't want him back too far, but do you feel the difference?
Yeah.
With the toe down and not? Also gets the Achilles.
Yeah.
So,
Everything posterior chain.
yep, exactly. So what he's saying is with the toe down it gets more anterior, and with the toe up it's posterior, which makes sense. But yeah, so you can do both. You can do a little bit of both and kind of play with it. And again, this is the only place where if the knee comes over the toe, it's safe. Under your normal standing postures, it's not going to be safe. So with the majority of folk, you're going to want the heel and the ankle in one line before.
On the left toe, do you want it down or up? The other side?
Okay, so good question. Do the toes stay up or down? That is really dependent upon what you want to stretch. Again,
Same thing.
Achilles, exactly. Same thing, anterior, posterior. So it depends also on the client. Some people can't keep their feet up. I mean, we see that all the time. So forward and back motion, you can do this for as long as you like. And then you can hold each one. So you could hold that upper one. And again, like we showed you in that warm-up, he could lift his arms straight up and do core. So obviously you want the shoulders relaxed, you want the core engaged. And again, this is the only place that this would be safe. Let's go ahead and come back down and now bring your ankle underneath your knee. So you bring your heel a little bit further forward and now come up. You'll see the pressure goes right off the knee. This is what you're going to want for the most part, is this. That's an athletic body doing it. Does that make sense? So from here, I always like to try to do the 6 movements of the spine when we're here. So that's why I usually go into a twist. So I'm going to put the block down for the twist for right now. Go ahead and place that hand down on the block, and he's going to twist toward his bent knee. So this is starting to get into the shoulders and thoracic spine. As you can see, he can change this again, those embellishments. He could bring palm side in and arm over, and that's going to get a different stretch. He could also bring his hand behind his head like he was posing for a picture and open up this way. Again, all different movements, just embellishments. And then from here, let's go ahead and do a holding of the back. So again, flexing into the back leg now. This is where the blocks come in handy. You can do the apartment building, the condo, or the ranch. I'm going to go condo on this one because look what's happening. His toe is slightly coming in. So if I give him a little bit higher and then I move that hip flexor just slightly, and sorry for putting my knee there, but I just needed to give you that alignment. That spinal alignment becomes what it needs to. And then you can do a little embellishment with the toes, flex back, and that's gonna go even deeper. If you have somebody with knee problems, forgive me for walking across the camera, you would put a block underneath the knee, give them some extra padding. So just places to go. All right, good. Then from here, let's go ahead and release that. Good. So from here, we are going to move into our dog hydrant. So what we'll do, take a little break. You've got both your blocks in the right place. Let's drop them down. And here, what we're gonna do is you're gonna come up and take your right, actually, let's go with the right. So take the right leg straight out towards me. Yep, good.
You back behind?
Yep, I know, I won't let you kick me. And then go ahead and bend your knee, and then externally rotate up. Okay, so now we're getting into a lot more hip flexor, and then he's gonna drop down to that left elbow. So you can come down onto, yeah, let's do 2 blocks. Yep. I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, we're right, perfect. Flex the foot. So, stretching the whole spine. Again, this is a little bit more advanced movement. Okay, good. And then go ahead and release down nice and slowly. What'd you say?
Gladly.
Good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and do the other side so we get that whole thing on the other side.
So what do we do here?
So, no worries, this is what I'm here for. Take your left leg all the way back. Good, pull it all the way through, drop the foot down between the hands.
We go,
There you go. And then go forward and back. Yep, and then flex all the way back. Good. So what you'll notice is that different sides will have different levels of flexibility. And what you don't want to do in this one is drop down too much so that you lose the stretch. A lot of times I'll see people come like all the way down here because they can, but you're not getting anything out of it. So again, thinking about the intention of the stretch is to stretch the hamstring. And all
you
that.
want to contact there?
Yeah, you always want to keep contact with the ground or something. Okay, good. And then when you're ready, you'll just go ahead and come forward, come into that twist, keep the right hand down this time, left arm reaches up. So you're gonna notice the knee in a lot of instances is gonna come out, that's fine. It's actually getting a little bit of IT. No, it's okay. You see the difference though. Go ahead and let the knee come out. You see it gets a little bit more hip flexor IT band. If you pull it in, it's a little bit more strengthening. So again, paying attention to what's going on in the body and why it's doing what it's doing. Okay, good. Go ahead and release that, then flex all the way back. And then again, toes can either stay down, get a little bit more stretch into the soleus and gastroc, or you can even let the toes come up, get more into the interior. Okay, good. Then we'll release that, we'll come back into that fire hydrant stretch. So go ahead and bring that leg up and back. Yep, bend the knee. Let that external rotation happen. It's okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Awkward movement, I know. Sorry about that. Drop all the way down. Like I said, imagine 25 football players doing it. It's not necessarily fun, but it works. It's very effective, and again, gets that cross the body. Okay, good. Then we're going to release that nice and slowly. Let's take a little break in child's posture. So just bring the toes together, knees apart. It's just a good place to kind of come in between. Good sequencing. And then we'll do it again to kind of notice the differences in the body. Because the next one we're going to move into is some more external rotation with some knee circles and the crossover. When you're ready, go ahead and come back into tabletop. We're going to take the block underneath the knee. This gives you a little bit of height, and then you can take your foot down so that it's supporting you. And then this leg is going to come out, and you're going to do some knee circles in both directions. So this is a stretch that you don't want to do without previous stretching, if that makes sense. So even our warm-ups have sequencing to them, because you want the hip to be nice and warm. So you go in that direction, then you can come into the opposite direction. Go all the way around. Good. Thanks for being our model today. We appreciate it. Feel nice loose hips from doing this twice now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, now go ahead and kick your leg straight out to the side.
Oops.
That's okay. So you want that chain moving from here to here, and you want that foot as high as possible, because what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna help you to do this, is we're gonna swing around. And it's gonna go all the way across, and you'll see the whole spine moves. And then you're gonna come right back out and kick straight out. The more engagement of that transverse arch, that's gonna get right into the glute. And then cross again. Good, and back over, nice. And then last time, right all the way over, drop the foot down, and again, anterior, posterior. You can either keep the foot flexed or let it relax down. Some of your clients will or won't be able to do that. Again, blocks, you can drop down to the elbows if that's available to you. This is more advanced.
Mark, you feel it more in your right
Yeah.
piriformis?
Yeah, if you're, more posterior hip.
Is this feeling good, Mark?
Yep. And make sure you keep that right hip straight instead of turned.
Yeah. And again, you can push into this side, yeah, if you want to, if you've got that, but you don't want to collapse into it. And that's that, again, space between will and surrender.
You can do it.
Yeah, it goes right into the edge of the bootay. Cool. Okay, good. Go ahead and release that nice and slowly. Nice, we're gonna switch sides. Knee comes underneath the other side. Yeah, we'll take the blocks
Yeah.
away. And come on into that hip rotation, yep. So nice big circles. It doesn't matter which way you go first or not. Typically you go forward first and backwards, but I mean, it's kind of.
How many of these will you do?
I try to get 3 forward, 3 back,
Okay.
3 across. 3 is one of those numbers in yoga that's very,
How far down should we go?
as far down as you can. So as much range of motion as is available to you right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That articulation is dependent upon the person. Okay, good. And then from here, you're gonna kick the leg straight out towards me. Well, yeah, you can go straight, I just like to give you a starting point. Okay, good. So again, flex the foot, get some active, yeah, and bring it this way. So it's, yeah, so it's more natural. And then bring it across.